You know, Tyreek wanted to be in Kansas City.
That's you say that again. Tyreek wanted to be in KC.
We continue to negotiate with the Chiefs, but Tyreek just felt the best about the Dolphins. And staying in Kansas City was on the table up until Tyreek made this decision.
Let's talk about the match last night between Allen and Mahomes and Brady and Rodgers and take a deep dive into this crazy freaking Tyreek Hill podcast teaser drama thing and much more. But first, how about those?
Cole, this is Gail from Springfield, Missouri, and I'm here with my buddy Patrick, here to say, how about those Chiefs?
What's up, guys? My name is Cole, and I do daily news about the Chiefs and the NFL overall, so I'm going to need you to sub if you're new. Hit that like button if you think Tyreek Hill's podcast teaser thing threw unneeded shade on the Chiefs organization. And we'll talk about that here in a little bit, and let's get into this news. Apparently, Juju looked way too nice for a Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday, pal.
It's Wednesday. You have to chill.
Just a little bit.
CEH is out there supporting Mitchell Schwartz in some fashion, but I'm not exactly sure what's going on here, to be honest. But Schwartz himself shared this story and said thanks for the support. So if any of y'all know what's going on here, feel free to fill me in. Cornell Powell out here looking all nice, dressed up, but for me personally, if I'm dressed up that nice, it's either for a funeral or a wedding, so maybe it was for one of those things. And then, unless you live under a rock, we all know what our QB1 was up to last night. Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen faced off against Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers in The Match, which was a charity golf event, and let me tell you, it was hilarious. There were plenty of jokes to go around, and hearing the banter back and forth between everyone was great. My wife was like, why are you laughing so much at this golf thing? Because I had an AirPod in. It was great. Here's some examples of some of the stuff I laughed at. Josh Allen trolled Brady by putting his nasty little combine photo on his own ball.
This little thing? Tom Brady combine picture.
Good there.
Brady, of course, hated it, but laughed anyway, playing it cool while looking for his opportunity to get back at Allen, which he did, don't you worry. Brady's ball had a Lombardi trophy on it, and, well, just watch the clip.
Ask Josh if he's ever seen one of these. Josh, have you ever seen one of these?
I've seen one before.
Seen one? Okay,
I've seen it.
That was absolutely savage, and I laughed so hard, I think I woke up everybody in my house. Before the match started, though, Mahomes was asked what Josh Allen's greatest fear was, and his answer definitely stung a little.
Josh's biggest fear, a coin toss.
That's a good answer.
And then listening to Charles Barkley and JJ Watt commentate this thing was pure gold. They bickered back and forth like an old married couple about who's better at golf when I'm pretty sure they are both terrible. But they were calling out Brady and really anyone, but mainly Brady when their shot sucked because Brady's were pretty terrible most of the time.
Oh my, he hit it to the right. Oof.
Can someone spot that ball, please?
And more than a few people in the crowd were hit by stray golf balls. Don't believe me? Smile Kaufman says the crowd at the match needs to be wearing helmets and knee pads. And at one point, the commentators said that the players should be giving people in the crowd football helmets to wear. And in case you missed the 3+ hour event, the old guys won right at the end by one score with Josh Allen nearly sinking the putt of his entire life, nearly making up for the fact that he got carried the entire night by Mahomes. But it was Man Bun Rodgers who won the day and ended up sinking in the game-winning putt.
Oh my.
And he just did.
And look at this handshake at the end between Rodgers and Brady. I see one arm that eats a lot of protein and one arm that is completely vegan. Anyway, if you missed the event, there's no need to go back and watch it because this graphic right here basically summarizes the entire thing for you. Rodgers was indeed the best player, but seemed to care way too much about this silly little game and basically stopped talking after about hole 4. Mahomes definitely carried Josh Allen on nearly every hole and seemed to be having a grand old time. He had some great shots, honestly, solid putts, and brought them back from being down 2 to eventually pulling ahead by 1 near the end of the 12 holes. I also think he drank like 6 or 7 Coors Lights and seemed to get better with every beer that he drank. Cameron Wolf says, man, Patrick Mahomes is cold on the golf course. Dude throwing in dime after dime while tossing back Coors Light after Coors Light. And then you have the guys who were just bad. Brady literally drove his ball into the trees nearly every hole and missed almost every shot that mattered. This one clip sums up Brady's entire night.
Oh, no!
And I gotta give credit to Josh Allen for going out there on national television and risking it for the biscuit, but the biscuit was indeed lost when it came to Josh Allen. And let's just put it like this. The surgery was successful, but the patient died. Kent Swanson echoes my thoughts appropriately here. He says, Patrick Mahomes is tied with Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady in the match. Josh Allen is also present. Skip Bayless himself weighed in, saying Mahomes swings a golf club like the baseball player he used to be, but the man competes, just wills the ball onto the green and into the hole. Golf exposes your character. Mahomes seriously battles. That might be the first nice thing I've ever heard Skip Bayless say. So thanks for that and all of your worthless takes that you do on your little show. Josh Allen himself said that Mahomes' back has to be hurting after the match and actually tweeted out to him saying, Patrick, is your back okay? Not gonna lie, I was a garbage can today, but we will be back. To which Mahomes responded, all love, brother. We can run it back whenever. And Mahomes himself tweeted out to everyone afterwards saying, had a hella of a time at the match today. I say we should run it back. Hella of a time. I think this man was still drinking Coors Light when he tweeted this out last night. And if you look at his eyes in this photo from his wife of them having dinner after the golf event, I'd say my suspicions are indeed confirmed. Anyway, it was fun to watch these four legends go at it, and it's safe to say that it's the last bit of golf I'll be watching for quite a long time. And then Tyreek Hill made his rounds back into the news, and it wasn't for lying about how great his new QB Tua is. No. But it may be for lying about something else altogether, or at least it gives the appearance of some pieced together clickbait stuff to make social media waves and get us all talking about it, which is exactly what is happening here with me and many others. Basically, Tyreek Hill is starting up his own podcast titled It Needed to Be Said, and the first episode drops on June 10th. And well, yesterday, a teaser snippet was shared to promote the podcast, and there's some interesting little nuggets in here worth talking about. So let's freaking talk about it.
Well, and once the season was over, we reached out to the Chiefs and we said, hey, we want to keep it going. Tyreek wanted to be there. Tyreek wanted to be in Kansas City.
That's you say that again. Tyreek wanted to be in KC.
Tyreek wanted to be in Kansas City.
Wanted to be in KC.
We tried to do an extension with that.
Tried, man.
Okay, so Tyreek Hill wanted to be in KC. The Chiefs tried to make it happen, and it didn't work out. Why is that? Well, Tyreek's agent himself, Drew Rosenhaus, appeared on the Colin Cowherd show a couple months ago and explained everything himself. Basically, they were in initial talks with the Chiefs about a contract extension, and things were basically going well, but then the Davante Adams trade happened.
And I reached out to the Chiefs and I shared with them that I felt that Davante's deal was the floor for Tyreek, and that Tyreek in the last year of his contract had earned the right to be the highest paid receiver in the NFL. We started negotiating, and they quickly saw that for them that deal didn't make sense. They communicated to us that wasn't going to work out. So I suggested, how about we explore a trade where everybody wins?
So he told the Chiefs he was confident that they would get much more draft capital for Tyreek Hill than the Packers got for Davante Adams, and he was indeed right. So Tyreek's contract also beat out Davante's contract in every way, just like Tyreek and his agent wanted, and the Chiefs got a bunch of draft picks out of it. So win-win, right? Well, not so freaking fast there, Turbo, because this podcast teaser tries to throw in some interesting curveballs, starting with this one, where the co-host says this wasn't a situation about money.
This wasn't a situation that you demanded a crazy amount of money, right?
Yes, Tyreek. It was a situation where you demanded a crazy amount of money, which is fine, to be honest. You wanted Davante Adams' contract to be your floor, your starting point, per the words of your own agent. Is that an insane ask? No, not really at all. You're a freaking legend, bro. And that's why you got the deal you did in Miami, because you are worth it. But let's not get it twisted here. Your agent came in asking for a ton of money, and we know that the Chiefs offered a pretty hefty amount per their extension talks, but it wasn't Davante Adams' floor amount of money, and ultimately, Tyreek chose the Dolphins.
We continued to negotiate with the Chiefs, but Tyreek just felt the best about the Dolphins. The contract obviously was superior, and staying in Kansas City was on the table up until Tyreek made this decision.
And in case you want a little more clarity that this was about money, Here's another clip for you.
Yeah, so when the Chiefs gave me permission to reach out to the teams, I told every one of them what we were looking for. I told them that a part of the trade would be Tyreek would become the richest, highest paid receiver in NFL history, and that we were looking to beat the Adams contract on every level. And, I can tell you that no one really said to me, hey, that's unreasonable.
So, okay, now that is out of the way, this was about money, and Tyreek wanted to have the biggest contract in wide receiver history, and he got it. So, convo is over, right? Wrong, because this teaser keeps going and takes a turn for stupid, if I'm going to be honest here.
No, this was a situation where you know what you're capable of. Drew knows what you're capable of.
Correct.
The team knows what you're capable of, but they just didn't utilize you. Now follow up on that.
Right.
Do you think this was a situation to suppress his stats, to drop that value down when it came to a potential trade or signing?
This man said, we all know what you're capable of, but the Chiefs just didn't utilize you. What on earth is that supposed to mean? Tyreek Hill led the Chiefs in targets, 159, receptions, 111, which was a career high, receiving yards, 1,239, and tied for the lead on the Chiefs in receiving touchdowns with Travis Kelce. I mean, he was third in the entire NFL in receptions, only behind Davante Adams and Cooper Kupp, and was still seventh in receiving yards in spite of teams playing the Chiefs in a too-high shell pretty much every down of every game. I mean, look at this. The Chiefs got blitzed the least in the entire NFL, and it's not even close. Not only that, but the Chiefs were given the most middle-of-the-field open looks ahead of any other team because every single team is doing all they can to take away the deep ball from the Chiefs and Tyreek Hill. On top of that, the Chiefs also saw 6 or fewer in the box most often. And again, it's not even close. So to say the team didn't utilize Hill and attempted to suppress his stats is absolutely ludicrous. The team utilized Hill the best way they figured out how after the Bucs beat the brakes off the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, and Todd Bowles gave every team in the league a blueprint for how to play the Chiefs if you want to take away the deep ball. So the Chiefs went through growing pains on how to adjust for that and still fed Tyreek the ball more than anyone else on the team. And if anything suppressed Tyreek's stats, it was his own gloves, his own freaking hands, his little mitts. He had 10 drops last season out of 155 targets. And for context, Davante Adams had 166 targets and only 4 drops. Cooper Kupp had 189 targets and 7 drops. So these guys were targeted more than Hill and still had less drops. And let's just shut down the stupid idea that the Chiefs were trying to suppress Tyreek's stats to drop Tyreek's value down.
Do you think this was a situation to suppress his stats, to drop that value down when it came to a potential trade?
Well, listen here, you little dum-dum. If the Chiefs planned on trading Tyreek Hill, they would have wanted his stats to be as high as a kite, as high as Snoop Dogg himself, to get the most value out of him. So that does not work either, but nice try. What do you guys think about all of this? Definitely let me know in the comments down below, because this is just crazy to me. I feel like it's trying to shine bad light on the Chiefs and their organization, which I am not personally a fan of, or at least it's putting off the appearance of that, which is weird, a bad look on Tyreek, and makes no freaking sense to me. I will say this though, someone I trust who knows a lot about the team and has been reporting on the Chiefs for years had this to say in my DMs last night, and I'm going to keep his name off of here because it's just an opinion, but listen to what they had to say. My opinion: Tyreek is having remorse from the grief he's getting about Tua's wimpy arm, I added wimpy, and is desperate to make the trade look like Casey's doing and not his own so he can finger point when Miami backfires. Well, that is indeed a hot take if I've ever seen one, but I feel like it's too late to try to do any real finger pointing. Tyreek's agent made it clear that they wanted all the money, so now they're going to get all the freaking smoke if Miami backfires. Trust me, I'll definitely be listening to this podcast on June 10th and we'll fill you in if anything else comes out of this, but I have a feeling they will shut all of this crazy stuff down in the podcast itself, and this teaser was purely created to build hype around the podcast, and it's nothing more than that. And guess what? It's working. From here, I want to take a look at some of my favorite comments from yesterday, starting with this bomb dropped. A super thanks from Eric Wahlberg, Mark Wahlberg's cousin, who says, I have to express my complete displeasure in your shilling for cash and overinflating the popularity of your channel by reading only praises by viewers who obviously want to be famous. It's very disappointing. Mark Wahlberg's cousin, P.S. Love your show and here's some money for you. $50, dude? That is incredibly generous freaking wild. I also love the troll comment and appreciate you, man, because you know I put not only good comments up there, but people who try to troll me, and I troll them right back. Greg Myers sent over a $5 super thanks saying, thanks. Sweaty Dog sent over another cup of coffee and asked for no shout out, but gets one anyway. And then Ryan O'Rourke, hopefully I said that name right, sent over a $5 super thanks saying, from one beautiful bald bearded man to another, keep up the good work, my guy, hashtag LFG. Bro, let's go, you bald-headed bearded legend. Leah Stand-In says, oh, bearded one, digging the new title vid backdrop, which I believe is the only comment I saw yesterday about me changing the video in my intro segment. If you didn't notice, go back and look. I swapped all the videos out. Tyreek is no longer in there, which some of you were complaining about. So you have to go back and notice, and then let me know that I did a good job, so I can have confidence to keep going. I have no idea what I'm saying. Let's just move on. John Drew says, 2023 draft. I would not be surprised if we draft a left tackle in the first round. Well, if we keep Orlando Brown Jr. on the franchise tag this year, I agree. I would not be surprised if that happened. If we sign him to a huge deal, though, then I would disagree. And my burner account is back. Colderoos Burner says that the golf match was rigged and Brady probably had Bill Belichick spying on Mahomes and Allen to see how they play. And I can definitely shut that rumor down because Rodgers literally carried Brady like a little baby the entire match. So it definitely was not rigged. And I'll say this, Brady needs to stick to football and those cheesy little smiles because golf is just not his cup of tea. Brandon Clark says, highlight of my birthday. Thanks, man. Well, dude, happy birthday. I hope you had a great day and hopefully had some tacos or something nummy. And regarding remaining free agents, I asked you guys about on the D-line yesterday. Daniel Crouch lists a couple saying Carl Nassib is still available and 29. JPP is ready to go. He's just on the wrong side of 30 for the Veach. Keep up the great work on the videos, you bearded wonder. Ricardo Chase says, Indomica, I probably said that name really wrong, Sue would be good for 1 year, $3 million. Any more than that would be too much. CLWXRF, what a name, says Mr. Sue is left, and Michael Doobie says Dunlap. And to Michael's comment, I'm actually liking the idea of Carlos Dunlap. You guys know that I did a video of him last week, and I do honestly think he's worth looking into. Old Navy says, this is now my daily fix for Chiefs news. You're the best. Living here in the armpit of Missouri, St. Louis, I get no Chiefs and no Gates. You rock, dude. Keep it up. Oh, wise bearded one. And not only am I bearded to this guy, I'm wise. I like this guy. The Last Cheeseball asks how I'm able to put these videos together every day and loves the humor and the trolling. Well, thanks. I'm glad, bro. I wake up around 3:45 every morning and spend 4 to 5 hours on these videos and then go to work for the day. It's been a beast, but the momentum has been going. So going, it must continue. Let's freaking go. Cora B is disappointed that my troll level is only at level 17 and says I need to up my game. And for that, I do sincerely apologize. I will work on improving, Cora, just for you. BB says I need to play for the Chiefs on the D-line and use my beard to scare the opposing players. And to that, I say, no thank you. While my beard is intimidating, I would literally get massacred out there on the field. Quentin Lovett says, watching this video on my break at work, as you're aware, I've been subscribed for months and I love the content. Keep up the outstanding work, Cole. Well, thank you, Quentin. I appreciate you, you little legend, and the rest of Chiefs Kingdom for all the support. You guys and gals are the real MVPs. Make sure to leave a comment below to potentially be featured in an upcoming video. Sub for more daily news like this, and check out this video here of Tyreek's agent, Drew Rosenhaus, in his full interview on the Colin Cowherd show back in like March, if you want more context on the behind the scenes to the Tyreek Hill trade to Miami. And until next time, let's go. How about those?